Yo, what is up, guys? We are in a projector pattern, AMC. For those that don't know, projector patterns show up before major rallies, okay? So in this case, we are using the projector here in May of 2021. And then what happens after that, right? We have this major run up on AMC. Now, I'm not tracking the same levels. I'm not tracking any of that. But this is good for AMC because this is the test. This is a test phase, okay? I'm going to show you guys one that failed. There's a video on this that you can search up. Is one of the first videos that I ever posted on the cycle. But if we come back to November of 2021, we have the same thing happening here, okay? So we have a classic projector, and then things fail, right? This right here in the cycle is the green to blue portion, which is the point of interest. This is where things fell. They came down. The cycle, literally in the algorithm, flipped everything, and things got shorted, right? So don't think that because we're in a projector, we can go up and climb and rally. It's just a test phase. It's an opportunity. So right now, AMC is looking pretty good. I mean, it's climbing back up. Volume is key, like I said. Look at that. I mean, these two are one-to-one, man. These are really, really similar patterns. I'm going to show you the complete pattern here. And again, I'm just going to take this first part here because I think that's maybe the one that we can track, also considering the Ethereum Classic correlation right now, which is extending day by day as things keep stalling here a little bit. We can see, okay, so here's a projector. Look at that, right? I mean, guys, that is crazy, man. This thing looks the same. Now, I don't want to like, again, I'm not going to track these levels and this time frame to a T, to where we can say that AMC is going to go to 5 tomorrow and then 6 by Friday, right? Even though it's possible, considering the cycle right now and the tracking that we have with Ethereum Classic. This is Ethereum Classic right here. Okay. I think it's safe to say that if we're going to run in the next few days, okay, at least both of these patterns are showing points of interest right here. And I said on the live as well, if we were going to expect some upside, it would happen sometime this week. So this would mean that right now the tracking on Ethereum Classic is spreading. As we know, it was tracking 6 days behind, and then at this point, we're looking at about 12. Okay, so as the cycle keeps extending itself, things are going to spread. It's going to take more time for things to turn back and forth. If AMC were to run here, the cool thing is that we would then end up creating a macro projector pattern. Now, a macro projector pattern is the same thing. It's just bigger. Watch this. Okay, right there. Macro projector pattern. So what it is we have essentially, if now with this pattern here, it's not really one that we can track the same way because we do have this wick down here. Pretty nasty wick. I don't like it. So I am going to be using the same pattern to illustrate this here, but watch this, right? We have Ethereum Classic right now trading in a projector pattern as well. It's just a macro, a bigger projector pattern. So what I'm saying is that to come up to the point of interest in August, what this means, few things, right? So right now, we are currently crossing resistance. So coming up from February 27th all the way down to now, so quite some time, guys, half a year, we're finally crossing resistance. So the fact that we're in a projector, we're climbing back up, we're getting ready to turn around here, this is a major test on AMC. If we don't cross here, things are going to get pretty ugly, right? But if we start crossing, then we have the possible outcome of what's going to be this macro projector pattern, which means that if we take a look at the cycle, all right, guys, watch this, my guy, watch this. If we take a look at the cycle, when does this happen, right? This happens right here on the next point of interest, right? So you guys know how it works. the POIs and the opportunity lies at the beginning of the cycle. It's that 12-day window every 2 months. The same thing right here, guys. We're coming up to that point of interest. And as you can see right here, we have the run-up happening around the end of August. Okay, that's the next point of interest in the cycle. So this is my little forecast here. This is my little projection. I've talked about this before as well, because we did have another inverse POI on the last one here. And there's been 5 guys now, 5 in a row that have been sideways or inverse. And we have not had a green one in a little while. Okay, so here are the cycle POIs. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of them. 5. Inverse. When are we going to get a green one? All right. So when that happens, man, you can only imagine what AMC is going to do here, right? Hopefully it's going to be some upside. Hopefully it's going to be some good upside, right? We have all these major stocks in the market right now that are rallying pretty hard. Carvana, AI, the other day on the live, and I want to pull this up here because it's really cool stuff. But I have this indicator here. It's called All-in-One. Basically what it does is it tells you the percent change. It's an ROC indicator for every single stock here, and it's comparing that between a set period of time. So for this, I'm going to be using the daily chart, and we're going to change some of the stocks in here. So we're going to do AMC, GME. We're going to change Mara to Ethereum Classic because I want to talk about something pretty interesting here. And then we're going to bring in AI, and we're going to bring in Carvana. Okay, so all of these we're going to talk about. Now, from what we can see here is the correlation, I think, between all of them is, well, in the cycle back here where we had the projector fail, everything in the market started to dump. Okay, so here everything tracks 1-to-1. There's really not a lot going on in the markets as far as any upside or anything, right? Because everything's dumping. But then the world start to separate. You start to see more gaps happening. And right now, everything's just all over the place, right? Look at that. Carvana, guys. 500%, okay, on these parameters that I'm using here, which is 50 bars, 50 days to compare. And what is happening back here? Okay, in January, you had a bunch of stocks break out, build these massive gaps all over the place, right? So the thing to track here, guys, is how much suppression there is on AMC and Ethereum Classic. Okay, the two are trading well below what these other guys are doing right now. I mean, even GME is up at 22%. AMC is down -19, Ethereum Classic -4. So what we know right now is Ethereum Classic is ahead of the game. Okay, it's ahead in the race, and AMC tends to go up right after Ethereum Classic. So why I think the two are good to track here? Well, this is when on the live I took everything else out so that we could compare Ethereum Classic and AMC, right? You're going to be able to see this a little bit better on a different time frame. I think maybe I put 500. Or no, it might have been 200. Okay, 200. There we go. So 200 is going to give us a larger range to track. The cool thing about this is that you can see the levels. The levels is what's important here. Remember, in May of 2021 into June, AMC ran quite a lot, right? So we had Ethereum Classic go up first, though, in April, and it went up the same way. This is why I think the two are used against each other in liquidity, because they end up running the same percentage. Both in August, both in March and August of 2022, we tracked the same percentage levels. It was guys, we're talking 10% off. In that range, they both ran the same way. So that's why we track Ethereum Classic, guys. This is not just there's a clear correlation between the two from what we know, and until that stops giving up, I'm going to keep tracking Ethereum Classic here. I think there's correlation. All right, so having AMC being, currently in a projector pattern, Ethereum Classic is currently in a macro projector pattern. Things are lining up for the August point of interest. And yes, every single POI here that's been inverse, okay, it sucks, right? Nobody likes to see the price coming down, especially because most of you are bullish on AMC. But at some point, stocks have to come back up. And I think it's going to be fun to see AMC finally turn around here and us, trying to figure out what the chart is going to look like after this massive 2-year short, basically, that happened on AMC. So things should start to get pretty interesting soon, guys. One more thing I'm going to talk about here is the spots indicator. All right, we flip it over. Again, many times I have pulled up this section of the cycle because I think it's relevant. I do think it's relevant to this here. But if we take a look at what the curve is telling us here, is there's a bit of divergence between the curve and the actual price, right? We have higher lows on the price, whereas the curve here has already crossed. The pink curve has crossed support, and it almost seems like a fake out, like it's about to come back up and do something like this, right? Where else have we seen this before? Back here, okay? We have the same curve, and then we have a quick fake out. It's a lot bigger. This would be considered a fractal, but if you take this, right, we're not going to use, again, we're not going to track these levels. We're just going to track the points of interest. But if we use the same structure here, you can see the same thing. You can see that using that indicator, this is telling us that once it crosses below and we get that blue spot, things should start to come up, and they should start to come up quickly, okay? As far as, like, you guys know that with the cycle stuff, like, we don't really pay too much attention to the catalysts and stuff because typically the algorithm is, building the structure of the patterns and what's going to happen, and then the news and catalysts are used to sort of, create this puppet show in the markets. That is just what I believe. I believe the markets function that way. And as we've seen time and time again, figuring out these POIs and where AMC tends to go, there's a lot that has to do with the cycle, and I think very little that has to do with catalysts and stuff like that, guys. Because catalysts, news catalysts, dates, those, what they want you to think is that it's like too predictable. Like, this is gonna happen here, it's gonna happen then, and things are gonna happen this way, right? That's why I don't agree with a lot of the things that get pushed out, some of the narratives that get pushed out, because I think there's very little correlation with and manipulation too, with like FTDs, data, stuff like that. So we don't use it. We stick to the cycle, understanding pattern structure and their behaviors and stuff like that, right? So with that being said, I hope that this creates a little bit of clarity with some of the things that are happening. I know that not everything is transparent right now with AMC, again, as far as like the court stuff and everything like that. So, with us looking at the charts, I think, that definitely makes me at least feel a little bit better from what we know right now so far on the tracking and everything else. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, like it, do all that good stuff. And then remember, okay, we also track all of this, the cycle stuff with other stocks in the market, indices, SPY, crypto. If you guys want to check out the Discord, make sure you click the link below. There's many other plays and stuff that we track with this same approach, the cycle approach. Alrighty, guys. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.